Just in, Reece Walsh exposes the truth about his rivalry with Nathan Cleary. In the shadowed underbelly of rugby league's greatest arenas, where rivalries are forged in the crucible of sweat and spotlight, two names pulse like twin hearts of the modern game. What if the fiercest duel on the field masked a deeper bond, one that could redefine brotherhood in a sport built on brutal collisions? Beneath the floodlights of Accor Stadium, Sydney, on a balmy September evening in 2025, the NRL Grand Final hums with destiny's electricity. The Brisbane Broncos, clad in maroon, face the Penrith Panthers, their black jerseys a storm cloud rolling in from the west. At the helm of each side stand two prodigies, Nathan Cleary, the stoic general with ice in his veins and a premiership ring already glinting, and Reece Walsh, the mercurial fullback whose every step ignites the night like a comet streaking across Queensland's skies. This is no ordinary clash. It's the culmination of 3 years of breathless encounters. Cleary's clutch field goals stealing victories from Walsh's fingertips, Walsh's blistering counters leaving Cleary grasping at ghosts. The media has feasted on the narrative, two alpha talents, one throne. Yet behind the headlines, a private truth has simmered, unspoken, until now. And as the pre-game warm-ups unfold under a canopy of 80,000 roaring souls, the air crackles with more than rivalry. But before we peel back the layers of this electric saga, a heartbeat for the faithful watching from afar. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Sport Talk content. The buildup has been cinematic in its intensity. Weeks earlier, during State of Origin, Walsh's Queensland had dismantled Cleary's New South Wales in a decider for the ages. Walsh's 70-meter intercept try, a dagger to the heart of the Blues. Post-match, Cleary's handshake was firm, his eyes unreadable. Yet Walsh later admitted in a quiet team huddle that the Penrith star's silence spoke volumes. Now in the Grand Final tunnel, the two lock eyes again, the weight of history pressing like the humid night air. Kickoff unleashes chaos. The first half is a chess match of titans. Cleary's pinpoint kicks pinning Walsh deep, Walsh's darting runs slicing through Penrith's edge like a blade through silk. The crowd surges in waves. Broncos fans a sea of maroon pom-poms, Panthers supporters a black tide crashing against the barriers. Every tackle lands with the thud of legacy, every pass a prayer. At halftime, it's 10-all, the scoreboard a mirror reflecting two warriors unwilling to yield. Then, the turning point ignites in the 52nd minute. Penrith trails by 4 when Cleary launches a spiraling bomb toward the Broncos' corner. Walsh, backpedaling under pressure, leaps, his fingers grazing the ball, tipping it backward into no man's land. The chase is on. Cleary sprints from 40 meters out, Walsh from 10. They collide midair, bodies twisting like vines in a storm, the ball spilling loose. Walsh hits the turf hard, wind knocked from his lungs, but he's first to his feet, scooping the loose pill and streaking 80 meters untouched. The try-line parts like the Red Sea. Accor Stadium detonates. The roar is primal, a sound that rattles the rafters and sends shivers through the concrete. Walsh slides on his knees, arms wide, face tilted to the heavens, a silhouette of triumph etched against the pyrotechnics. On the big screen, Cleary stands motionless at halfway, hands on hips, a faint smile ghosting his lips. It's not defeat in his eyes, it's recognition. The Broncos lead 16-10, but something deeper has shifted. In the sheds moments later, Walsh seeks out Cleary during the mandatory post-try cooldown. Their conversation, caught on a sideline mic, is barely audible over the din. "You set that up, didn't you?" Walsh grins. Cleary chuckles. "Had to give you one, mate. Keep 'em honest." The final whistle crowns Brisbane premiers, 22-18, but the image that lingers is not the trophy lift. It's the embrace at full time. Cleary, mud-streaked and magnificent in defeat, pulls Walsh into a bear hug that lasts long after the cameras pan away. The crowd hushes, sensing the sacred. Walsh buries his face in Cleary's shoulder, the weight of 3 years dissolving in that single gesture. Tears streak both their faces, invisible to the stands but captured in a grainy fan video that will soon circle the globe. The aftermath explodes across the digital landscape like the fireworks still blooming over the harbor. Within minutes, #WalshCleary trends worldwide, the embrace clip amassing 15 million views on TikTok by dawn. Fans dissect every frame, the pat on the back, the whispered words lost to the wind. This is bigger than the game, One caption reads, "Liked by thousands." NRL official accounts repost it with the simple hashtag respect, while morning shows loop the footage alongside slow-motion replays of their on-field duels, narrators' voices thick with awe. Newsrooms pivot from scorelines to soul. The Sydney Morning Herald runs a double-page spread. Rivals, brothers, legends. Talkback radio crackles with callers. Some lifelong Panthers diehards, others Broncos tragics, united in reverence. "I've hated Queensland my whole life," one gruff voice admits, "but that hug? That's the game I fell in love with." In Brisbane's Caxton Street, pubs overflow with toasts to both men, strangers clinking glasses in a shared communion. Culturally, the moment resonates like a didgeridoo's low thrum through the outback. For Indigenous and Maori communities, Walsh and Cleary represent dual threads of a shared tapestry. Walsh's First Nations fire, Cleary's quiet leadership rooted in Penrith's working-class grit. Their embrace echoes historic reconciliations, the 2008 apology, the 2023 voice referendum's spirit of unity. Commentators draw parallels to Kathy Freeman and Ian Thorpe at the 2000 Olympics, two champions transcending rivalry to embody national hope. Fan art floods Instagram. Charcoal sketches of the hug framed by the Sydney skyline. Murals in Redfern depicting the duo as yin and yang. Schoolyard debates shift from who's better to who would you want as a mate. The NRL launches a junior clinic series titled Rivals to Role Models, with Walsh and Cleary as co-ambassadors, their first session oversubscribed within hours. It's a cultural pivot where competition bows to connection. In the quiet reflection that follows triumph, we see sport's profound mirror. The Walsh-Cleary rivalry was never about enmity, it was a forge, each clash hammering the other into sharper versions of themselves. Their embrace unveils a truth as old as the game. Greatness is not solitary. It is co-authored in the furnace of challenge, where the fiercest opponent becomes the truest teacher. Walsh's try was spectacular, but the hug was sacred, a reminder that legacy is measured not in points, but in the hearts you lift along the way. This moment probes the essence of sportsmanship, the grace to push another to their peak, then catch them when they soar beyond you. Cleary's smile in defeat was not concession, it was celebration of Walsh's brilliance, of the game's capacity to birth beauty from brutality. It speaks to character forged in fire, humility in victory, dignity in loss, and the quiet valor of seeing yourself in your rival's eyes. Consider the emotional architecture beneath the spectacle. In the tunnel before kickoff, two boys from opposite worlds, Walsh from Nerang's dusty fields, Cleary from Penrith's concrete jungles, shared a nod that said, "Let's make this one for the ages." Their rivalry was a love letter to the game, each tackle a stanza, each try a crescendo.